I want to be clear about something before I tell you this story. I am not a superstitious person. I don't read horoscopes. I don't knock on wood. I don't believe in signs or omens or any of the invisible machinery people invent to explain the things they can't control. I'm telling you that now because I need you to understand what it meant when I believed it. It started the way most things start these days. A link shared in a group chat at 2 a.m. by someone I barely knew. No caption, no context, just a URL. I almost didn't click it. The site loaded slowly, like it was thinking, like it was deciding something. Before it let me in, the design was plain, almost clinical. A white background, a single black text field in the center of the screen. Above it, 4 words. When will you die? I laughed, out loud, alone in my apartment at 2 a.m. I actually laughed at it. I typed in my name. The cursor blinked 3 times, then the screen went dark. And a date appeared. I won't tell you the date yet, but I will tell you. It wasn't far away. I closed the tab. I told myself it was a random number generator, a parlor trick, the kind of thing that gets shared around because it feels personal, even when it isn't. I went to bed. I didn't sleep. By morning, I had convinced myself I was being ridiculous. I opened my laptop and searched for the site. It wasn't in my browser history. I searched the group chat for the link. It was gone. The person who sent it had left the group. I checked their profile. The account had been deactivated. That should have been the end of it, except I remembered the URL. I don't know why I remembered it. I'm not someone who remembers URLs, but I typed it in exactly, and the site loaded again. Same white background, same black text field, same 4 words. This time, I typed in my mother's name. The cursor blinked, the screen went dark, the same date appeared. I tried 6 more names, friends, my brother, a co-worker I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. Every single one returned a different date. I started writing them down. I told myself I was documenting it, being methodical. What I was actually doing was looking for the logic, because if there was logic, it was just a machine. And if it was just a machine, it didn't mean anything. I found the logic 3 weeks later. One of the dates had passed. My coworker, the one I hadn't spoken to in 2 years. I almost missed it. I had to check twice. The date the site gave me for him was 4 days ago. I found his obituary the same afternoon. Cardiac event, sudden. He was 31 years old. I want to pause here and tell you exactly what I felt in that moment. Not fear, not yet. Certainty. A cold, quiet certainty that arrived like something that had always been there. Like I hadn't discovered something new. Like I had simply stopped looking away from something old. I went back to the site. I searched for people I could verify. Historical figures, public records, anyone whose date of death was already documented. I spent 3 days doing this. The site was right, every time. Not approximately, not within a range. The exact date, down to the day. I started to understand that this wasn't a trick. It wasn't a generator. Whatever this site was pulling from, whatever it was reading, it was reading something real. And then I remembered. I had typed in my own name first. The date it gave me was 11 days away when I first saw it. By the time I understood what the site was, I had 8 days left. I didn't tell anyone. I thought about it. I rehearsed the conversation in my head a dozen times, but every version of that conversation ended the same way. Either they didn't believe me, or they did, and I couldn't decide which outcome was worse. I spent 2 days doing nothing, just existing inside the ordinary texture of my life, making coffee, walking to the corner store, watching the light change in my apartment in the late afternoon, noticing things I had never noticed before. The exact color of the walls, the sound the radiator made at night, the weight of my own hands. 6 days left. On the 5th day, I started looking for the source. I'm not a developer, but I know enough to look at page source code. The site had almost none. No trackers, no analytics, no server information in the headers. It was hosted on a domain registered in a country I had never heard of. Through a privacy service that returned no records, I posted about it on 3 different forums using a throwaway account. Within 6 hours, all 3 posts had been deleted, not by moderators. The threads were just gone. On the 4th day, I found one other person who had found the site. A comment buried in a thread about unexplained internet phenomena, posted 8 months ago. The comment read, "I know what you're talking about. Don't go back. The date changes if you keep looking." That was the entire comment. The account had no other posts, no profile information. I went back to the site. I typed in my name. The date had moved 3 days earlier. I sat with that for a long time. The date moved because I went back, which meant the site wasn't just reading something, it was responding to something. My behavior, my choices. The act of looking was changing the outcome, and if that was true, if looking accelerated it, then every time I had searched for other names, I had been doing something, not just observing, participating. I had looked up my mother's name, my brother's name, my coworker, who was now dead. I thought about what that meant for a very long time. Then I went back to the site one more time. I typed in the name of whoever built it. The cursor blinked. The screen went dark. No date appeared. Just a message I had never seen before. 4 words. The same as the first 4, but different. We already know yours. The date it gave me originally has passed. I'm still here. I don't know what that means. I've thought about it every day since. Maybe the site was wrong about me specifically. Maybe looking up the builder reset something. Maybe the date changing when I returned. Was the system correcting itself? And the final date was always going to be one I'd already moved past. Or maybe the date it gave me wasn't about death at all. Maybe it was about something else ending. Something I haven't identified yet. Something I lost in those 11 days without realizing I was losing it. What I know is this: the site is still there. I checked this morning. The text field is still waiting. I'm not going to give you the URL, but I think you already know why. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to Lore Machina. We'll see you in the dark.